Hi.
Hey, so we're just waiting.
Yep, 5 more minutes.
Let's see who's online. Paige.
Yeah,
Paige, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can
Oh,
you increase your your screen a little bit? Just a little bit, because I have my glasses, but for some reason I still can't see well.
is this big enough or
Yeah,
bigger?
no, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
My glasses is good. Let me see if we have everybody. Okay. It's falling down. Let's bring in. One minute. Okay, welcome everyone. It's 7 o'clock and you just need to verify a quorum. Do we have everybody?
We have 3 of the board members on, so we do have a quorum and we can go ahead and get started unless you wanted to wait for the other 2 board members.
We can go ahead. They'll be able to catch up, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they can catch up. They'll be able to get in. Okay, so I want to call to motion, make a motion to start the meeting at 7 o'clock. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, not you guys. Here's the board member. Okay. So we're gonna do a board introduction. I'm Stephanie, I'm the board president. This is Ty, the secretary, and then our treasurer, she's online. Our vice president is online, and so is our, member at large. I'm so not used to that name, but yeah, they're online, okay? So, before we get started, I just want to, just some basic housekeeping things. When we give the community the time to speak, we'll give everyone time to speak. You got 3 to 5 minutes. And once the 3 to 5 minutes is over, then and we start our meeting, you are not allowed to say anything. Even if we're talking and you might have something to say, we can't answer you, okay? If you have any questions after that, you can send it to management and we'll answer it, or they can.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Stephanie, I forgot.
No, that's okay. That's good. Great. Thank you. So also our meetings will be recorded. Okay. And that would be, I guess, if someone ever wanted a copy of the recordings, okay, you could do that, but they will have to request it according to the documents. Okay. Okay, so I want to motion the minutes from August 7th. Uh-oh. Where you go? Yeah, I was in August 7th. I can't see the
You can't see the screen?
agenda.
Oh, you want me to go back to the agenda? I'm on the meeting minutes right now from August 7th.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, we can go back. Okay, that's fine. I was just gonna say, I'm gonna make a motion to accept these minutes. I just need a second.
I
All in
second.
favor? Okay, all in favor? Okay,
Aye.
okay,
Aye.
so, great. So we can accept those. Now we'll go back to the agenda. Okay, so this will be a time for, and what we're gonna do is gonna let the people who are here right now have something to say, and then we'll go to the people online, okay? So we're gonna give you 3 to 5 minutes to tell us if you have a concern, a question, or suggestion, okay? We can start with who was here first. You, sir? Yeah, okay, so we can start.
So-
Just tell me your name and what address you're from.
My name is Henry Alvarez.
Mhm.
I don't live here anymore, but my parents do. They're over at Lindbridge, 401.
Okay.
So I'm just here for them.
Oh, okay, so you're just going to observe, or do you have a question for them?
I just have more of like a concern. Basically, my dad's car got towed
Okay,
last month.
okay,
It was because he had ladder racks.
Okay.
But I do see other vehicles, in other houses that
Mhm.
also have ladder racks,
mhm,
but they're not getting towed or getting, tickets or anything. When my dad got a ticket, he got towed,
Did he-
just didn't work, had to go out there.
he got a notice stating that he
Yes.
needs to move the vehicle?
Well, it was because of the ladder racks.
Right, but he got a notice prior to,
Yes, but they said that if he had 2 additional days to take the ladder racks off,
Mhm.
but they still towed it anyways.
They said he had 2 additional days, and they didn't give him those 2 days?
No.
Do you have that in writing? Do you have any proof of that?
I
Because we can
think
contact
I
them.
still have the ticket.
Okay,
And I also called them and I was like, hey, my dad's, he's concerned because he got this ticket and he told said that he was gonna tell it tonight, but the lady said, no, he has 2 additional days
mhm.
and they still told it.
Did you show him that when you went to pick up the vehicle? And
I
tell-
wasn't with them.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, So that's important. If we need to know all the information so we can address it to them if it's a
Okay.
problem, okay? So
Okay.
just let us know, email us the information, all that, the documents or emails that you've had and
Okay.
the correspondence so that we can address that,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
All right, you have our email, the board.
Oh, it's on the HOA website, right?
It is,
At
it
the
is.
bottom?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
All right, so-
Okay, no problem. All right, is that all you had, sir?
Yes.
Okay, who, were you next? Okay, go ahead, sir. Your name and what happened? Okay, sure. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for appreciating. Thank you for noticing. We appreciate everybody.
I, of course, have attended several meetings and I know you have discussed this in terms of the overflow
Mhm.
parking. You probably have noticed that the number of cars has increased, and that's because people are sub-renting in some cases.
Mhm.
So I have nothing against anyone who needs to sub-rent,
Mhm.
but actual owners sometimes may find it more difficult.
Mhm.
I hope that perhaps you could address it by expanding the number of slots. I know space is limited, but I noticed that toward the end of Eastwood Drive by the basketball court,
Mhm.
on the right hand side, there's an area that is reserved for owners.
Mhm.
But if you take your car there, it may be tricky in terms of not ensuring that the tow company won't remove your car.
Mhm.
With that said, also having heard the gentleman's concern, it's notorious that tow companies are kind of in the business of taking people's cars
Mhm.
sometimes without appropriate reason.
Mhm.
And so that's why the combination of limited spaces for the owners and with that in mind about tow companies, I hope that you could try to consider. It's not that many spaces, but they are pretty much always empty.
Mhm.
Or perhaps you can label them as for owners, and then we can have that, because I definitely noticed I lost my car, so I'm in the process of waiting for the actual stickers. In the meantime, I'm using the 2 stickers that I have,
Okay,
but it's concerning. I'm also parking here because the old card, I need to figure out what I'm going to do about it.
Mhm.
I may want to keep it at the time. So that alternative, because people also renting their people.
Right. we addressed that. Okay. One thing about, we have limited space. Okay, what has been going on in the past, and it was never enforced, was the parking. We went with 2 different companies thinking that they would do what we needed them to do. They weren't doing it. So what's happening is people have 5 cars in one house. This community cannot do that if everybody wanted to have 5 cars. So when people are looking for places to live or to rent, they have to do their due diligence to say, hey, will you be able to accommodate 5 cars? We can accommodate 2, and that's all we can do. So now that we have Shanks, and we're making sure that happens, because what was happening, people were taking their cars and parking their visitors, which is unfair for people who want to have visitors. So we needed to stop that. What we were doing now, we're just saying, hey, if you park in front of your home, we're not making a big deal if you have your pass, if you don't have your pass. For now, we're not making a big deal of that. Right, if you don't have your sticker, if you do have your sticker, we just told them to focus on visitor spaces, because those are the spaces that people, homeowners and renters are using when nobody else can use it when you have a visitor. So that's really unfair. So we're trying to crack down on that. I spoke to down there by the basketball court. That's not our community. That's the townhomes of Potomac. But before we got Shanks, these are all the things we have to think about. And we thought about these things. So we knew when they start coming around, we weren't going to have enough space. So I went over and talked to the president of that HOA and asked them, can we use their parking? They said yes. So we can now go down there and park. Now, this is the problem you're going to get. Everybody's going to go down there. And everybody's going to take their 3rd and their 4th and their 5th car. So they're going to be crowded too. So at what point does it stop? So we're thinking about now, because we know it's going to be overdone down there. We know it's going to be overdone here. So since the pool is closed, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about what spaces we're going to use here for possibly overflow temporarily. So if anybody is renting, we're gonna find out when your lease is up. Because what's gonna happen is we're not going to accommodate you after your lease. We can't do it. If you have 3, 4, 5 cars, we just can't do it. So people may want to reconsider their options. If you have 5 cars, you go, maybe this is not the community for you with 5 cars. Okay, so we're trying to do as much as we can, but if we use up all these spaces, I promise you, we would still not have enough space. And then when people want to rent our clubhouse, if we have people want to rent the clubhouse, then they won't have any space. So we have to think about everybody in this community when we make these decisions. And these are hard decisions for us to have to make. We wish we can make more parking, but we don't have the space to do so. You know, we're looking into, there's a space over there that's not owned by us. It's owned by another developer. Maybe one day, you know, we can buy it or something, but right now we got to do what we can do. So that's what we're addressing. So you can park down there, but it's still gonna be first come, first serve. I just say, get down there as soon as you can, if you can. And you know, hopefully you'll get a space. Okay, but if you have visitors and there's no space, we say contact the board and we can give you like space here for them to be here if you're gonna have more than 2 cars coming to visit you for a party or just to get together. Let us know so we can accommodate you. We'll give them a temporary pass to park here. So, you know, they're not taking up all the visitor spaces out there that other people may want to use. Okay. So we just want everybody to keep that in mind. So we are addressing that issue. And you should,
But homeowners can be so easy to have a 3rd car.
that 3rd car is fine. That's usually fine. Right.
Because
Usually,
rent is controlled.
yeah, 3rd cars are usually,
Then call it,
Mhm. Yeah, 3rd cars are usually fine. There's people with 5 cars, you know, that's really hard. So, you know, even with 3rd car, I mean, we just gotta, everybody don't have a 3rd car, but you got people with 5, 6 cars and it makes it difficult.
And the new stickers are still.
They haven't come out yet. We don't have any, we'll send all that information out to everybody. Okay, so like I said, we're addressing it and we'll get more information out, but at this time you can park down there. Okay. All right, and again, contact us if you need some additional help and support, okay? All right, any other questions before I move forward? Okay,
I just said that.
sure.
When we came here in 2014,
Mhm.
we came here with 4 cars.
Mhm.
And they told us, I'm telling you, 2014, we asked,
Mhm.
and they said, oh, no problem. We have plenty of overflow for you to park your extra
And
car."
that's probably what it was back in 2014.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it probably was, we did have extra parking, but now we don't. You know, times have changed, things have changed. And usually the owners, you know, we're here, our kids grow, we got 4 cars or 3 cars, you know, but people who are moving in with 5 cars, I think the management companies for those people, the owners, they need to ask them first and say, hey, if you're moving in, we can guarantee you these spaces, how many cars do you have? To let them know that we can't guarantee you more than 2. You know, it's hard when people already been here for a long period of time. But those who are coming in, we're trying to not discourage, but yeah, discourage to say, hey, this may not be for you, because what we don't want you to get told. We really don't. But we don't want to put anybody up to fail. So it's best that they can make an informed decision. The management companies, the owners can tell their renters, listen, this is what it is. We can't guarantee you that. So it's only fair, you know. So do you have any other questions about anything else?
but that might be kind of hard. Just like when they rent these spaces,
Mhm.
you never know how many people stay in this one place.
Right.
So you might have 2 people in there, but you might have 5 or 6 living in it.
Well,
So now you got.
well, that's going to be their responsibility as that person, as a tenant, that person, whoever's in there, they're going to be responsible for that. Because I mean, we can't accommodate everybody. It's just impossible. So we have to go by what the rules are and follow them. And then people have to make their own decisions. So that's the only thing we could do. I mean, we're limited. Any other questions in regard to parking? Okay, one thing I do want to tell you about parking, they said that, we're telling them to put a sticker on cars if their expiration, like their tags expired or their inspection has expired, not to tow. You know, give you a sticker, but they're gonna give you a time frame. So if you get a sticker, they said to contact them directly and they'll work with you.
This is the new company.
Right, Shank said they will work with you. And I advise any email that you have with them, correspondence about that, make sure you email us. So we know that you had a conversation and they said this. So there's none, you know, like what happened to his father, that there would be no issue that they didn't know. At least we are aware, because when they tow cars, they send pictures, they send all that stuff to cover themselves. So make sure you cover yourself with conversations that you have with them.
Very good.
Just 1 second, sir. So do you have any other questions about that? Okay,
No follow-up, and kindly, also you have on the website that we can park up to 30 days. That's not the case for people who are working and 3-4 days. But how can we know that they're not always thinking that we've been there more than 30 days? That's
okay,
fair.
what I'll tell you this is, if you're taking one space, you have 30 days for that particular space. After 30 days, you can move to another space.
Yeah.
So just move to another space. If you've been there 5 days, just move to another, you know, so that when they come around, because they're gonna take a picture for 1 day, and then 30 days later, they come around and see if their car is still in that same spot. So make sure it's not in that same spot after 30 days.
No, that's.
Just- Yeah, just
I just
pick
hope
another
that
space.
They are as reasonable and as
Yeah.
fair as you are.
Well, we tell them, we tell them what they're supposed to do. No. No. They have rules, yes, how it's supposed to go. So they will make note of it. So make sure that you move your vehicle, okay?
Is it 5 days or 30 days?
No, overflow spaces is 30 days
Okay,
in one space. And then you can move to another space.
okay.
Yeah, never 5 days, 30 days. Okay, the visitors is technically is 48 hours, but the board has been gracious enough to give another day. So we gave people 72 hours. So they're not towing you unless it's the 4th day. So I think, you know, giving people a little bit more time. Okay, yes.
How do they know that the car, that you say, they take a picture 30 days,
Mhm.
come back and take another picture, and the car, not saying it's still there, but people move their car, and sometimes they get off work at the same spot.
So we tell people don't park there. If you know you've been there at one point during that month, and in 30 days, you want to move it. So if you're going to stay in one spot, stay in that spot for the 30 days, if you can. But if not, just move to another spot. Yeah, just move to another spot, you know, so that, you know, the 30 days, you know, you might have to keep track of that yourself, so that when they come around, because they're going to do it at one point of the month, and they come back at another point of the month, they don't know. That's how they're going to do it. So, yeah. Any more questions before we ask the people online? That's it? Okay. Okay, so we can go to anybody who has questions online.
I don't get nothing on this.
Stephanie, this is Evangeline Davidson at 105 Kings Crest Drive.
All right. Hi, Evangeline Davidson.
My question is, well, first of all, thank you for the parking, because the visitors parking in my section was never available because a previous resident had 5 cars. So that I'm thankful for. So thank you for
You're welcome.
focusing on the parking. Has helped a great deal. My question is, behind our house, I know the landscape, and that's going to be a topic of discussion.
Mhm.
The Wind Ridge is all I keep hearing being mentioned, but the
Yeah.
wooded area behind King's Crest, someone
Mhm.
mentioned to me that that land is not owned by us, that it's owned by someone else that's
It
supposed to
depends
be maintaining it.
It depends on what part of King's Crest it is.
I'm at the very tip.
I got to look at where that is, because if you go on to the GIS mapping, and then
Mhm.
you click on that, it'll tell you who owns it. The crazy part about it is the 600 block, the 700 block is not our community at all. That's Townhomes Potomac, and behind them, it's not our property at all. I don't know if it's theirs or if it's, what is it? Was it? Yeah, Sunnyside, or because the people who owned it before, they sold it to the guy next door to us. He has some of this property, and then I think the other company, they still have part of this community. silver. They may have it. So I don't know, but if you look on the GIS, it'll tell you exactly if it's ours or not. The way it's cut
Okay.
up in this community is very weird.
Okay, I'm at the 100 block, so,
Yeah, I
and
would
my
have to look.
concern is that there are some
Mhm.
serious trees and the house on the very edge coming into our development from the apartment complex at the
Okay,
very tip had a tree that went down. And
okay,
there's several more trees back there wobbling and
okay,
apparently getting ready to fall on houses. So I'm just trying to
okay.
find out
Sure.
who do I reach out to start getting those trees? Because when winter come, they're coming down on the houses.
I have the
Okay.
GIS map up right now.
Yes.
It looks like it's 400 Meadowview Court. If you look at your screen,
Yeah,
can you
that's
guys see my
Gravis
screen?
Widewater. That's Gravis Widewater. And that is
Mhm.
owned by the gentleman next door who owns all the stone outside. When you make a right off of Route 1, he owns that property. So we would have to contact him. So we can
Okay.
draft something to him and let him know that we're requesting that he does something to that. Because we can't cut his property. So we will send something to him to let him know that he needs to cut back his trees.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
can I
'Cause
interject?
Sure,
If
sure.
you can, if you as the homeowner reach out to this address here, you
Mhm.
can protect yourself insurance wise by having some kind of document that you've reached out, you've let them know that those trees are in danger of falling and you're concerned about it. If they do not respond to you and that tree falls, it is on them to make any repairs.
Okay. And
Okay.
I
So, but
know.
they have to have that information in writing from you. I would send it certified so you know that they got it. And if they don't do anything about it, you're off the hook.
Okay. Because
Okay.
of course the ultimate goal is not to have to deal with the property damage, but
Absolutely, yes.
I completely understand what you're saying, and I know that I had sent a message to I guess our previous, and it may not have been handed over, but our management company does not do a great job in responding to questions and requests because I had said, I'm willing to go back there and at my own expense cut those trees down to prevent it from falling on my property. Can someone please advise? And I've heard nothing. And I even sent another request and still have heard nothing.
Okay.
So
Did you send it to the
I'm
new management?
grateful.
Did you send it to the
Yes,
new
I did.
management? Okay. That way you sent it to
Yes.
Deborah. You sent it to Deborah at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, we have a new manager with Landmark. So we have it. If you don't mind forwarding those emails to her now, and we will have a letter generated to them. We will have
Okay.
a letter, management will be having a letter to them, and we may need to talk to our attorney. But it is important that everyone, if they have a concern, to send that man a letter so that he is put on notice and is aware. Now, we're gonna send him a
Okay.
letter too. So with y'all sending letters, with us sending letters, then if we have to, hopefully not have to get into a legal battle with him or anything, at least for your insurance, you're covered if it falls. Now, we have,
Right.
you know what I mean? At least
Yeah.
that covers you because we don't know how fast he's going to respond, but we have something in
Yeah.
writing.
Because I felt sorry because I saw the trees. The trees are leaning, all of them, all the tall trees are leaning directly at the houses. And
Mhm.
even on the slightliest windy day, they're just swaying and it's just like waiting. And then on Saturday night to see that that tree went down on the house two
Okay.
doors down from me, that's a little, no one wants to come out and hear that.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
scary.
Absolutely. I
Um,
mean, we totally understand. And another thing is when you first come in the community and off of Route 1, if you look on the left side where his stone and all that stuff is,
mhm.
that part belongs to him. On the left side, if you're coming out off of Route 1, let's just say you're coming out. On the right-hand side, that belongs to his community. I mean, that belongs to him. What
Oh,
happened in the past was the board had cut down his trees. And we spent thousands of dollars to cut down his trees when they fell a couple years ago. Guess what? We went to him and said, hey, there was a mistake. we cut down, we got the tree, cleaned up, and will you give us some money back? He said no. He said, nobody told you to do it.
Oh,
So we
okay.
lost money. We lost money because his tree fell. And we wanted to get it out. Well, we didn't. It was the other board to get it out of there. And yeah, he's not
Okay.
that willing to, if you cut on his, he doesn't care. So we rather not cut anything on his property. We want him to do it.
Well,
Because we-
I will write my letter tomorrow and I will copy you on it and let him know that you've been copied on it and send it certified.
Great, great. Thank you so much. And we'll do
Thank
our
you.
part. We'll do our part.
And we
Um,
will, yeah, I'll send one certified as well.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions before we get into our meeting? Any other person online who needs to have a question?
Please
No.
remember, there was a couple people who joined us after Stephanie made her announcement that after this point, that there is no interjections. This is just the board discussing board business. So if there's anything else that needs to be discussed, please speak now.
Um, I took a screenshot. Were they on there?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
look it up, if you pull it up, you'll see it.
Okay.
That's the name, but if you pull it up, you'll see the address.
Okay.
But
Perfect.
when you click on it, you'll be able to see it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions before we move forward? No? Okay, we can go ahead and get into our meeting. Okay, with our officers report, I don't have any specific report at this time. Anything that we're gonna talk about, we'll discuss in the meeting, okay? We can go to the treasurer's report. Oh, here's, she's here, okay. We can put your report to last, okay. Okay. All right,
Did you want me to read the balance sheet?
I didn't hear you.
Did you want me to read the balance sheet?
Yeah, you can do that, that's fine. Hold on,
Yeah,
she's
just
gonna,
a snapshot.
oh, just one
Oh, in
second,
your office.
just one second, she's going to mute, oh, okay, you did it already, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so in your operating cash, you have $67,427. In your reserve cash, you have $307,000, $634,634,000.17. You guys currently have a surplus of $2,094. And your total liabilities in equity is $456,408.44.
Okay.
We can move forward.
Yes, just let me know whenever you're ready, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Next, we have the action item or the manager's report, or is there anything from any other officers that wanted to report anything?
Yeah, she's gonna, the treasurer's getting ready, she's getting ready to give us a report, give her about 1-2 minutes here. You just kind of.
Sounds good.
Hey, this is Erin. So just reporting from the treasurer's report, we just asked for a couple of additional metrics from the property management company just to kind of see how we're doing overall. I'm planning to have a better format for this. Right now, I just have the information, but I would like to kind of do more of a recurring monthly kind of status report. And so I'm still working the format of that, but I did want to say the average annual income from our dues is around $290,000 a year. Which is a good income, and so we've used that kind of as our baseline for our budget normally from year to year with a plan for savings for some of our larger projects. So far to date, we've made about $300 from our clubhouse being rented out, with about 300 coming in for 2 additional rentals that are in the future. General feedback on the clubhouse rentals has been that it's been successful and that people have enjoyed the space. It's convenient, and then the parking obviously has been a positive as well. Some of the debt that was tracked, we asked kind of what the efficacy of the payment plans were. I know that was a large effort by Landmark and by Marguerite. And so we asked kind of how those were working out. And so back when before we started tracking the payment plans, our amount due was around 111K, and now we're down to about 58K outstanding. And so I just it goes to show that we're, that the payment plans have been effective. We're starting to recoup some of those costs from outstanding dues. And what we found is a lot of people didn't want to be on the right side of their dues. They were just looking for an opportunity of how to do that. And so the payment plans have been pretty well received, I would say. Before the payment plans, we were about 169 delinquent accounts. And then since they've been implemented, we're about 76. So that's a little under half of where we were at before. So that's a positive as well. So people who are delinquent on their HOA dues. And then we do have about 24 accounts that have been referred to the attorney based upon not setting up a payment plan and being overdue on their dues. I did ask the question about kind of the debt from the previous homeowners and the previous property management companies. They're still looking into it. I think that we may have to set aside some money, and I'll talk to the board members about this directly, but we may need to set aside some money on how to settle that debt, if you will, because it's going to require additional services or additional time outside the scope of work of our current property management contract. And so if we want them to kind of do a deeper dive on previous sale contracts, bill of sales, and things like that, I think they're willing to, but we would have to kind of see if that's worth the juice is worth the squeeze there. And so we asked the question also, how are we avoiding kind of getting back in that situation again with the new property management company? And then they said that typically everything is pretty straightforward at the time of sale, and that we're able to kind of collect those overdue balances at the time of sale, and that's typically done as part of closing. The only nuance is if there's a foreclosure, there's not always a person, if you will, that we can go to, or a closing company to recover some of the outstanding dues. And so we'll just have to be cognizant of that and figure out how we want to navigate, those situations. But overall, I think that we're doing pretty well from a financial aspect. And like I said, in the last meeting, we have some of these projects starting this week for the landscaping, and so I'm excited about that as well. So that's it for treasurer's report.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll go back to anybody have any questions on that? I'm sorry, we're not asking questions, my bad. I'm just so used to it. We're gonna go back to the agenda. Go ahead. Can you pull that back up page so I'll know where we are next? Okay, so old business. I bring all this stuff back because we haven't made a decision on any of these things as of yet. So repairing of the wading pool. We discussed, can y'all hear me? Yeah, we discussed, we know that the baby pool, that's the wading pool, that's the baby pool. We know that there's a leak, and we didn't want them to do any work to it. So I just need to know, guys, have we come to some agreement? I think we still need one more quote, correct, you all? Okay, so as soon as we get that quote
To fix the,
we can go ahead and try. Do y'all want to wait until the following meeting? And I don't think we want to wait that long. Do you all want to vote via email as opposed to waiting to the next meeting? Okay, we'll do that. We'll just vote once we get that third one in. So we'll move forward with that. I'm going to go to the next. It's a landscaping project for Windridge update. Let me give you an update on that. They were supposed to come out. There was a little mistake in their scheduling. So they are scheduled now to be out on tomorrow. And Wednesday, we have another company coming out that's going to be working on the flowers and plants and all that stuff in front of the clubhouse. So those are two different projects happening. So the one on Windridge project is happening tomorrow between 8 and 9. That's what the email said that they gave us. So we should definitely be okay on that one. Huh?
Can I add to that?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
The landscaping.
Mhm.
The landscaping project, we did vote on the one entire community. It's just gonna be a phased approach.
Mhm.
And
And so the complete landscaping, I know that we wanted them to look at Windrush first, that was the problem area.
Mhm.
But what we did vote on was that they are going to do the entire community.
The whole community, what do you mean, whole community?
The tree lines, the 6 feet from the tree line, from the fences, for the entire community with the quote that they provided.
The whole community, or all of Windridge, you saying all of Windridge?
No.
King's
King's
Crest.
Crest.
With that quote that we got, they doing everything? Do they know which part is not ours, what properties, they know which one is not ours?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I had to walk through with them. So the
Okay.
quote that we voted on last time, there's the entire
Everything.
community with, it's gonna be phased. Windridge is the priority because that's like the problem area.
right,
But we got it with the quote for the entire.
okay,
community.
hey, that's good, perfect. We, I'm
Stephanie,
sorry,
can I-
we can't take any questions right now, we're in our meeting. Okay, so we can get to you later.
It's the tree line behind the Windridge, but it's, this particular project is the tree line behind the fences to ensure that there's clearance for trash cans.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of all of that. Okay, parking, oh, I'm sorry, mailboxes. Okay, I spoke to the company that's doing the mailboxes, and they're saying that we have quite a few. We're just gonna do the whole community, and we're on a phased approach. So I spoke to them today. They said it's coming from Colorado, I think it's Colorado, on the 28th of this month, or not the whole one, but the second phase. It's coming on the 28th. Then he has to set up something where he has to come and knock down some of these things. So he says it's gonna take about a month once they get all the keys and
The cement.
yeah,
so
he
they
has
have
to,
to knock
he has
down.
to get all that out. He said, so it's gonna take, once it comes from Colorado, then it has to come to them, which takes another 2 weeks. And after that, he said, so look at about end of October, beginning of November, or the first week of November, that they're gonna start putting them in place. Okay, so we'll be sending something out to the community. I'm heading that project where I will make sure that everybody get their keys and everything. We'll be abreast, and if we have to knock on doors or put stuff on specific doors, not the whole community, just on specific doors, so they know that they come get their get their keys for the mailbox. So we'll do that. So
The only thing I would say, I don't know what the phases look like, is we probably want to avoid, if we need to take a break, the month of December, because of greeting card season.
oh, no, it will be, because once we order those again, it's gonna try to take another month or so before those can
Yeah.
come. So,
So
yeah,
if it gets pushed back at all, I would say we try to avoid.
yeah, we're
probably end
trying,
of
I'm
November.
hoping that he can do it before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Okay,
You know,
that'd
and
be
then the other
perfect,
one
yeah.
will probably be after the new year, totally after the new year, because, yeah.
Greeting card season's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, so we just want to see if we can get it in before Thanksgiving, so that would be fine, that'd be perfect. Our parking policy. Now, I know we all looked at that policy, I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at it in depth. But we need to make sure we adapt it, because we're planning to implement it in October. So has anybody had a chance to review? I know you did, because you did it.
I've not reviewed it.
Haven't
in
reviewed-
depth,
Okay,
but
okay, so,
what were the major changes to?
A lot of changes, it's a lot more wordy though.
Yeah.
It breaks down the commercial visitor, what a vehicle is, for a resident vehicle, like literally, there's nothing in there that can be misunderstood.
mhm,
But two, you know, when this is working, it's starting. So
Right.
we're gonna have to play with it and see,
mhm,
you know, what needs to stay, what needs to go,
Mhm.
and legally what needs to stay
right.
as well, so.
And it's very, just specific, so it's not, yeah. So our next meeting is scheduled, what is it, what are we in September? October,
I have it on my calendar.
October 16th.
and what we can do is, I'm hoping that we have it all together by that next
October
meeting.
16th.
Okay, so after October 16th, we'll have it all together, and then we can choose a date, because I think we were saying something around the 20-something October. Oh, really, what, to give out the passes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, even if it's not October, maybe we could do early November or whatever, as long as we got, try to do this before Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Do we got all new parking passes?
yeah. So we can try to do, oh, okay. Okay, oh, 9, 10, and 23, 24. Okay, so we're gonna have to think of another day. What day y'all wanna do, so we can have a day, so we don't just kind of like be waiting, so we need to make sure we have a day. That we're gonna do this. You know, in October. Yeah, finalize the parking, because that's gonna be the next meeting, it has to be finalized by next meeting. But what day do we wanna start giving those passes out from? Okay. Okay, cool. So we're saying October 23rd, 24th?
With enforcement starting when, the 1st of November?
Yeah, that could probably,
Give them out, so after the 24th, enforce them.
and we probably give people a week, and we could probably do November 1st, just.
I mean, there's nothing really changing, that's.
Oh, okay.
Restructuring it to where it's fine, what we're doing,
Mhm.
but it still has the flexibility of times and the modifications.
Okay.
Doesn't say, like overflow.
Okay.
Per defined damage.
Mhm.
Whatever.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
very flexible versus like, this is what it is in your stuff.
Okay, and the reason why I was saying that, you know, once we put it out there, it give people a week to come into compliance, just because just say somebody's out of town, just to say, okay, we're doing it October 23rd, 24th, but November 1st, it's in full effect. So, you know, you have that time to do what you gotta do, because after that, there's no ifs, ands, buts, no, you know, everything, you know. We're not gonna be too lean after that. Okay, so I think we're being more than fair. All right, so next month, we'll make a decision. So we'll table this to next month. So parking will be tabled to next month. Okay, playground update. Are we still waiting for, okay,
I did see, I got a quote. It was like 150,000, 154.
150,000?
But it was for both, and it was for tear down too, because our
Oh, okay.
tearing down the stuff that's not in compliance, and then also the turf, right? Like that's the most expensive part, and it's gonna cost us money.
And that's like the lowest grade, like.
Okay, so what is the park gonna look like? What is that looking like? Like, what do we choose? I wouldn't know what it's looking like for $150,000. Oh, okay, that's it.
It's in the board packet, yeah.
Okay. That's the monkey around. Okay, that's the, so which one are y'all talking about? Is that red? Okay, so the red, blue, and yellow one right there? Or is it that other one in the back? Or is that the same one? Okay, but I'm saying which one? Oh, they all the same, right? That's all the same? Oh, okay, because I'm like, it looks different. Okay, so we're choosing that one. Is only one, just that one? No, I'm saying, is there more than that one? Or that's the only?
They have like 4 catalogs we could choose from, and it's just different pricing structures, and so we just needed somebody to take lead on choosing something. And that's what Tyler said.
So how many, okay, so,
That one right there is the main playground, so the reason I went with the top lot.
Okay.
It has to have 6 feet clearance on all sides.
okay,
So unless we plan to move it, that's as big as we can go for the top lot up there.
okay,
You can't really move it because it's on a hill.
okay.
And it gets into the property line of that end unit.
Okay, so it's only gonna be that, there's not gonna be another structure of a playground, I mean, like other stuff, as there is gonna be more stuff?
Yeah, it's
The big one.
Green playground and top lot at the top. of the
Okay, so the main playground is gonna have this red, blue, and yellow thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's it, right? We're gonna have swings and all that too, that with the swings?
In the description, I read swings, it was like swing removal.
So we're gonna have swings, we're gonna have that thing that they can play on right there, right?
Yes.
Okay, swings that for them to play on, what else? I'm trying to see this $150,000.
It mostly is probably the ground, and that's when we did the walkthrough with them. That was what he said, is that your largest investment is fencing, and we kind of have to do that because that was what we got dinged on.
Are we
our
gonna do
inspection.
fencing around that?
It's not fencing, but
It goes black. You know how it's raised, and you have like a bumper where you have like a turf with turf.
Oh,
top.
okay, okay,
It'll have something like that, but it won't be day there.
Okay, okay, so that's $150,000.
I'm still waiting on.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
300,000. Oh, Jesus.
That's actually a good price
But yeah, the
for a
majority of that's gonna be
community
probably the ground, right, is
playground.
what they said.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, to get it out. Oh,
So he was asking, he was looking when they came and to see if there's anything they could salvage, and because a lot of our stuff isn't in compliance,
now we don't want to salvage.
it's not worth
It's not.
trying to put something together and
No.
kind of piecemeal it, and then you're dealing with maintenance issues and all that
Exactly.
stuff.
I'd rather
So
say,
you won't have a warranty on the old stuff anymore. and
exactly.
stuff like that.
I say go with something new and, and then we have full warranty. Okay, so, yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice. Okay, so $150,000. Okay. All right. Okay, so, all right, so,
That's the other piece right there.
huh? Is that another piece?
Double set.
Is it gonna have that little yellow thing where they can climb through? Is that part of it too?
I want to talk about that.
Huh? Okay, go ahead.
So,
No
no
snakes.
snake,
Uh-huh.
what do y'all think about that? The one with the tunnel?
I don't,
I'm like, I like the concept, but because it backs up to wood. They have a tunnel at that dog park right there at the top of the hill where the apartments are, and there's woods right there, and there's never any issues because it's in the middle of like an open area.
Okay.
It'd be different if it was in the woods.
okay,
But they, I mean, many times as I go up there with my dog, there's never been an issue up there with snakes and stuff like that.
okay.
This is my personal opinion.
Mhm. Okay,
But is that, what are the options?
Is that part of the
Is that
option?
in lieu of something else, or is that just a different? No, it's a.
that's an addition, right, to the 150?
No.
Oh, that's in the 150. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so both of those. Okay, so both of those
For
structures.
this one?
So it's the biggest structure plus the yellow thing with the blue, with they climb through included. Okay,
This is all one structure. I know it throws you off because they show you different colors of it, but that's
Right.
one structure.
Okay.
And then you scroll
oh,
up,
I see.
and that's another structure.
Okay, I see.
They don't have swings then.
No swings.
Oh, this one.
I think the babies swing for free.
But.
Okay,
There's stipulations.
what's the stipulation?
Uh,
We've got who? When we do it?
They probably have like a promotion going or something. you know.
Oh, how soon are they talking? Like, they give us a time?
So he
No,
was.
he was
trying to say
trying to say that
that,
week, and I'm like,
No.
Give me till it gets like.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, okay.
But they put us on a payment plan? So let's talk about that. Let's see if we can put some kind of, payment plan to work this out. So we don't have.
As long as there's no interest.
Right, if they have something like that, they're gonna get their money. It's just that it's kind of help us financially to save, right, not just taking it all. So we can maybe talk to them about a payment plan. Okay, cool. So that's just one of them, right? Do we have another quote? Oh, okay, we're gonna need three because it's 150,000, so we're gonna definitely need three quotes for this one. Okay, so, all right, cool. So you get an idea for what it's gonna cost. Okay, we can move on to the next thing on the agenda. I think it was engineering.
Yep, the engineering.
I'm looking at
report.
is it an engineer report page?
Engineering reports for
it's
the
an
drainage issue.
engineer report.
Drainage problems, I don't think we've gotten an update. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I
Alright.
want to discuss. I know you guys were supposed to get that. I mean, not you, Manny. Manny, have you
Yes.
had a chance to talk with anybody?
Yes, I've made some calls. I'm waiting for some calls back. But the other calls that I
Oh, you-
received back, can you guys hear me?
Okay, now,
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I made some calls. I'm waiting to receive some calls back. But the ones that I had back, right now we currently have one call in for the evaluation for the report that is coming from Rajamo in the neighborhood of 7,000. I did also speak to Freelance, which is also a civil company in Stafford here, Fredericksburg area. Now, what he is telling me is there's an assessment fee of $600 for them to come out. and they'll come out and take a survey. Then they're gonna put together a
I go,
proposal.
I go.
And I can't hear you because
You said how much?
Can you hear
He
me
said
now?
an assessment fee of $600.
There's an assessment fee. So for them to come out to take a look at the drains, they want to charge $600 to come out. Okay. If we include them in the code, or if we select them to be part of the proposal selection, then I would like to receive the approval from the board for that 600 assessment fee. So when they come out, they will look at it, then they will give us a proposal of what we are looking for. Okay. So that is one. I'm waiting for a couple of calls from local engineers in the area as well. So, probably next
okay,
week.
so this project is a very important project.
It is
So-
very important project.
Huh?
I said it is very important project. So I heard you guys talking about the playing ground and how much it's gonna cost, and as a priority, I will ask that we will prioritize this project ahead of the playing ground. I mean, if we have to prioritize, right?
No, we do plan to prioritize. It's just that we do need to start getting some quotes because it is extremely important because we need to, depending on how much it's gonna cost, we need to decide if we have to do a special assessment, what we're gonna do. Because it has to definitely go in phases and, all it affects our streets and everything. But once we have, the inspection that's gonna come, next week, and I was supposed to meet with them today, but they have to reschedule.
There's a lot of civil engineers.
So let me see. When they come out, they're gonna look at the streets. Let me see, for the reserve study, they're gonna be looking at all our streets. And they'll give us a report. And from that report, we're going to have to either move quickly or whatever they say, because it's a major problem. And I know Freedom knows because they just had to do what they did for us. So we definitely need to get some more quotes. So I'm asking Paige to kind of look into that as well for us.
Now, Stephanie, whenever he said that they're going to require $600, that's going to be typical of most engineers before they come out and provide a proposal. They are going to charge, about that much in order to provide a proposal. So maybe if you have the one person to come out and do that report, you can use that report because, you paid for it, to gather other proposals to do that same scope of work. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's what the plan would be. Whoever comes out, we can get back to them and see what they come back at.
But real quick though, I think Manny had said that before, when they tried to do that, the company said that they wouldn't use someone else's engineering report for purposes of liability, for purposes of making sure the scope of work was right. And so they couldn't guarantee the proposal if it was based on someone else's inspection. And so I think that we have to tread carefully. And if we're going to invest in the initial inspection, I think it's worth it if it's going to be a, $500,000 project. But just, Manny, I did hear you when you said prioritization is funding. I do agree with you on making sure that's the priority of what we can pay for, which is why Stephanie was asking the question about the payment plan for the park, because the park is a compliance issue. Technically, we're out of compliance and we're supposed to tear them down. And so rather than not have an amenity that people are paying dues for, we need a replacement. And so we're looking at doing these projects in tandem and a phased approach to ensure that we can kind of, still sustain kind of what our amenities here are, and making sure, we're a very child, heavy neighborhood, but also making sure that we're doing the safety procedures that we need to for the drainage project. But the intent was to do it phased in a way that we can budget for it and do these projects in tandem and not have to pick one over the other. And that's because I agree that we don't want to, shell out $150K out of our bank account for a project if there's another option. So I do think we should defer if payment plan is not an option for the park. But we can cross that bridge when we get there. But just know that you were heard and that I agree that prioritization wise, the drainage project is a priority. But we also need to make sure that we're in compliance from the park inspection that we got, especially if someone were to get hurt.
Right, that's the important part.
So if the board agrees that it's typical to charge this $600 for these professionals to come out for the site assessment, then I can engage Freeland to come out. I'll meet them over there and go over things, and they will give us a proposal. So what I do with other companies, and Paige will assist if she will. But we need to make sure that that is also agreed among the board. Because I mean, I know Roger, the guys that provided the first proposal, they did for free, but not a lot of these companies around here will do that for free for the site assessment.
Okay, so we need to look into see who's going to do it so we can make a decision, because I think we might want to wait until we get the report from the reserve study, because they're going to tell us some things too.
I mean, Stephanie, why do we have to wait for the reserve? Reserve study doesn't take any look at our drain system.
No, I mean, when I say that, like financially, I mean, no, we can definitely get the companies out there, but I think financially we need to see what they're saying and, what we're going to need to do, because they may give a report like, what's really urgent. Because if it's urgent, because if you see these sidewalks, they are liability. And
so the sidewalks could also be related to the drainage situation.
Exactly, and I think that's what it is. So we know from what they've done so far, we know that metal is throughout our whole community. When they built the community, that's the kind of drain, they use that metal throughout the whole community for those drains. And we know that that's the problem, because I've been on the board before and they looked at it and they know all of them are corroded. They're all gone. There's also probably why we're having the issue in the streets too, with the water. So we definitely we gotta figure, this out. And, and again, we can't we hold off on one thing and only do the other, because they both may be urgent. So that's when we have to decide, hey, do we need to do a special assessment? Because if we have to do a special assessment, we may have to get a loan like we did before and put it over time, maybe 7 years, maybe 10 years or whatever, and increase the HOA dues by maybe $5, like we had to do before, maybe $5 or $10 in order to get this work done in a timely manner. So we don't want this to take 3, 4, 5 years. So I think that it's urgent due to the fact that it hasn't been done.
So do I have you guys your approval to agree to the site assessment fee of between $600 and $800?
How much is it? 600?
I said, if I can get you guys approval between $800 and $600, this guy Freeland says 600.
Okay.
But if it's 800, then I don't have to come back to the board for approval. We can authorize them to come.
Okay, so the maximum of $800 for another proposal.
Correct.
I think that before we approve, I think you should have a proposal in writing for to come do the walkthrough from the company that guarantees that money goes towards the project, if they're going to do the work, and all the verbiage before we vote on it and authorize the cost. I want to make sure I see it in writing that they're going to honor that. So,
I'm struggling to understand, Aaron, your comment here. They're not going to come out if they don't have the $600, right?
No, I understand that, but they should be able to provide a piece of paper that says we will come out and do this for $600, and this will then be applied to your bill should you proceed with the work. They should be able to provide a document that says that before we give them money.
Oh, I understand. So an email will suffice in that sense. However, they're not proposing that the 600 will go towards your proposal fee or report that they will provide. So the $600 is just to come on site to do site assessment. Then they're gonna give us a proposal, right? The proposal is free, right?
So the site assessment is not going to be a credit towards the work that's being done, is what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, a lot of times they
That is
don't.
just
do
for,
that.
yeah, that is just for them to come out.
I mean, if they do, that'd be nice, but a lot of times they don't.
We were
Then
lucky
that,
to
yeah,
get,
then that case, then we have to authorize the cost.
yeah,
So I
I
think
mean,
that
I can have them send some
if we can
email.
give him a budget to say, okay, up to $800 is what we're willing to pay for anybody to come out and give us a site inspection. Of course, he can go and get 3 of those quotes and then we'll choose, but he has up to $800 for them, for each, up to, for anybody. Because they said 600, but he wants to kind of, maybe a little bit more.
Because
We have one
need
already,
more than,
correct?
yeah, we have one in-house ready. So if I get the 600 for these guys,
Yeah.
then they'll come.
Yeah.
We get another proposal. Then the other ones that I'm waiting on calls to, if they have a similar requirement, I don't need to come back to the board. I can just go ahead and schedule a site visit and meet them on site.
Yeah, so I didn't hear what he said. Was he still talking?
Someone else's, this feedback.
Is that it? Okay, so now it's just me. Okay,
Do you make a motion?
yes, let's go ahead and make a motion. So, I will make a motion to allow, Manny to have a budget of up to $800, for for inspections, for each one. So we have one, so I think we only need 2, right? He said, okay,
Yes.
so I'll make a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, everyone's in favor? Okay, cool. All right, okay, landscape maintenance proposal. Okay. Did anybody get a chance to look at them?
So I did look through the ones earlier. The only issue I had is that they didn't seem to all be quoting the same thing, which makes it difficult to compare them. Some of them included like leaf removal, some included snow removal.
Okay, so my suggestion is because everybody's gonna give their proposal and they should have something of what we want. I personally, I mean, this is something that we don't, I mean, we need to move on, but not quickly. I think what we can do is have a meeting with all these companies and say, hey, explain to us exactly what you're gonna provide and we can tell them what we want.
Well, they do lay out what they provide. The problem is if we're voting across 3 different vendors and one's doing X, Y, Z, but this one's doing A, B, C.
That's what I'm saying. So when we meet with all of them, we can say, if this one is doing an A, B, C, we're saying, well, we want X, Y, Z, and we don't want that. So we want to be consistent with all 3 of them.
Well, that should be in our RFP though, a page, right? Can we give each of these companies an RFP, or are these just kind of on their own?
They were on their own. We didn't have an RFP made when I requested for the proposals. And that's just because there was never one made prior to. I have one made now.
Are we able to go back to these vendors with the RFP to kind of standardize their responses?
I think what we need to do is if we have a question on it, I feel we need to meet with them and then we can tell them what we want from after we look at it, like we used to do before. We'll meet with each contractor and say, hey, we've seen yours. This is what we want. Can you add that or can you take away that so we're clear?
Right, because Stephanie, you met with them each on site, right?
Who's saying something?
You met with each of them on site, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
so they got the same. So they got the same scope of work from you.
Yeah, but the problem is the scope of work relayed in person is not what made it to paper. So that's why I think we should follow up in paper with a list. And say, with an RFP, because an actual RFP will say, I need your proposal for this type of work, this type of work, this type of work, once a week, bi-weekly, whatever. And then they have to provide fill in the blank. This is how much we charge for that. Versus saying, how would you take care of this community? And that's just what we got from them.
But I guess that's what they seen when they did the inspection and they said, well, this is what, I mean, they did the quote, they looked at what we needed and they want to provide that.
Right,
So-
it just makes it difficult to like.
So I just think what we need to do is look at the contracts and say, okay, this is what we want. This is what we don't want. I mean, because it really has to be catered and tailored to us, but they did come on site to look at everything. I showed them which community is ours. They know all that stuff. So we could have a meeting with them to get any more clarification. I don't think going back and forth with RFPs is going to really make a difference because I still think that we should talk to them. You know,
I'm
if-
not opposed to meeting, I'm
Yeah,
just saying, to get really what we need to make a decision.
Mhm.
I think that there's a lot of subjectivity that happens
Mhm.
in person.
So, and that's why I said, when we meet with them, we can pull it up. And we say, well, we're looking at yours and this is what we see. Now, once we get it all straight with them, we can go back and look at all the other ones and say, okay, we took this off. We added this on there. So now when we talk to this other company, we go, okay, this, and this, and we're making sure that it's equal to what we said for the first one. So if that means they have to go back and revise it, they can just go back and revise it.
And then, using the proposal as a discussion point, I think also kind of opens the door for like, for example, if we're asking for a Honda and they're trying to sell us a Porsche, then obviously the proposal is gonna look more, it's gonna look better than someone else's proposal. And so I think we need to establish what that criteria is. What do we really need to come in? One of them said they'll pick up trash for us before they do the grass, which a lot of people do. Some don't. Our current landscape company doesn't do that, which is why we're looking at a company to go pick up trash.
And that's what I was saying. We look at what we want. We can say, okay, this
Yeah, I don't
person,
think we've decided that. I don't think we've decided.
That's what I'm saying. We
the
look-
base premise.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. We look at, read our quotes that we have so far, and that's where we make our decisions.
So we're not,
Huh?
so what do we want our landscape companies to do?
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what, when we sit and talk to them and say, hey, we looked at this, we want this, and this.
Right, but we're.
Is there something missing from one proposal that's not in the next? Or, because I know you mentioned this snow removal. Two of them did provide the snow removal proposal. CNC still hasn't provided theirs yet, but that is separately.
Right.
Is there something specific that you're looking for in one proposal that's not in the other? Because just reading them, it looked like there was a lot of the same information. It's just laid out really different.
I know for some, they were kind of flat rates, for some were like hourly rates. I know for some that they have, there's a trash removal in there where others didn't. And so I just, again, from a standardization, it's difficult to compare if it's not standardized. And so I'm not opposed to making a decision. I was just saying from my personal experience, when asked if I reviewed it, it was just difficult to compare because it was so different.
And since that's come up, I said, we talk to them, and if one is offering that and we don't want that, we can just say, hey, this is not what we want, we don't want that, this is what we want. And we just have that across the board for all of them. So that's why I'm saying, let's meet with them and let's take out what we don't want or add in what we do want. So when they give us a quote and they have to revise it, it all looks pretty much identical.
So from,
Okay,
if you're writing what we want, I mean, that would say, obviously, we want the common areas cut, trims, weeded.
So we're gonna do that at another, we're not gonna go over it now because we had time to go over it before. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna give it another month. We're gonna table this, give us enough time for everybody to look at it individually, and maybe we can send an email and say, hey, I seen this on here. Do we want that? Or we don't want that? Because if we're paying for somebody to pick up trash, do we really want them to pick up trash like that? Or do we, I mean, so.
Included in the fee, we just have some-
But it may be cheaper if we got a company already doing it. So we're gonna pay somebody to do something, we want them to do it. We don't want them to clean it up and then we're paying another company and, and they're not really cleaning like they should. So the trash, we don't need them to do. I think that's what the company, I mean, if it's right in a way, I mean, kind of common
Well, I think that's
sense.
what they're talking about.
If
is
it's right in a
that-
way, yeah, I think they
Yeah,
all
it's
do
trash,
that.
it says all debris and trash will be picked up, discarded prior to each mowing, and so.
Okay, so we can tell everybody, we can tell them that this is what we want. If you're mowing and you see something, please move. I mean.
Right, it looks like that's included in them.
I mean, that's real something simple, something basic, little small stuff, nothing big, of course. But
Right.
yeah, I think we can table this and we can talk about it and we can schedule a meeting with all of these people. So we are very clear on when we do vote, there's no questions. So,
So before meeting though, I think that we should have our standards listed.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. We as a board to go back and look at these things and we email each other and then we can decide, okay, we've all looked at it. Let's set up a meeting with them.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to, where am I at? Landscaping. Where am I? And we
Did
at
you
the
want to
land-
also hold off on the snow removal? Because that's what's next.
Yes.
And you'll, yeah, well, we can hold off on that as well,
Yeah.
because it's likely going to be the person who does your landscaping. That's what
Okay,
makes the
so
most
we'll
sense.
table that for next month as well, because we don't even have 3 quotes yet. So we're gonna have to wait on that one.
We have 3 quotes.
Oh,
I was able to get an additional quote, just not CNC just yet.
oh, okay, so we have the 3. Okay, for
Usually
some
who does
reason,
your landscaping, but there's no removal, so I don't think we should vote on one without the other.
Okay, so my concern is it turns into the same issue that we had last year where our vendors, they have a patient. Last thing we want to do is have a bad winter and we have no snow.
I agree.
We have 3 bids and we're in front.
Right, I agree.
So
So-
can we have a goal then to have the landscaping and snow removal kind of decided via email, you do a motion and unanimous?
Well-
In the next 2 weeks?
Okay, yeah, we could do it, but there's no guarantee that whoever we choose for snow will be our landscaper. So whoever we choose for snow, if they happen to be our landscaper, that's fine. But these are 2 different proposals, so we can go ahead and choose, or do you want to wait 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, I guess Paige was the proposals from one or the other. Was there any kind of cost savings or contingency on bundling as far as using them for both, or was the price kind of separate regardless?
For HW Lawn, they are willing to, I believe they are still willing to do your snow removal if you do not go with their landscaping. Now with community, they said they won't do your snow removal if you're not going with their landscaping.
Okay.
And then CCS, I believe he did your snow removal as a subcontractor for PGI whenever you guys had them.
Okay. So do we want to give it 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, let's give it 2
Yeah,
weeks.
and then I'll follow back up with CNC. I reached out to him on Friday as well, and he said he was going to get it to me. So, I mean, I know he's been busy and everything, but I can ask him again for that last proposal, just so you guys have all of them.
Okay, that'll work, that'll work. So in 2 weeks, we'll be discussing this and we're gonna be voting, okay? So that we can have something ready by next meeting, hopefully no later than next meeting, that we made a decision.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Ratify it next week.
Yeah, if we have to, yeah. So we're gonna table that and in 2 weeks, we're gonna vote via email on this.
And then once we vote,
Mhm.
we just need to, and we decided and accept the proposal, we just need to give 5 days, 30 days from then.
That's another thing we're gonna get into is we need to talk to the attorney about by faith. Because we need to know, we need to make sure that it is, and at this point, we probably do need the attorney to write it up in legal form so that the legality, she needs to look at the contract and see how we can get out of it technically. Because if you look at their contract, it says we're supposed to pay them regardless. So
We need to document.
yeah, we need her to say, due to the breach of contract and all this other stuff that they have not done, that we are getting rid of them. And we're giving them a
Is
30-day
Marguerite-
notice. Huh? Who?
Marguerite, is she here?
No, she's not here. I'm gonna reach out to her. But I think we need to decide that we're gonna vote to have her write this letter to him. So we can get out this and she knows what she has to do if we have
We
to
just
go.
can't execute it until we have.
Right.
the landscape.
Right. So Lisa, if she can write it, we'll have it ready.
And I would also ask if she's gonna do that, if we can see if we can make a payment. Because we're paying them.
Right, if
regardless,
we
they're
can-
not doing the
right,
services
and-
we're preparing.
Right, so we wanna, but it's in their contract, so, and, I don't know,
They never came and sprayed the weeds like they said. they
Right,
were on the street,
exactly.
and they never came and did and
They never
mulched
finished,
it.
they never finished putting out the mulch. So there's a lot of things. So we need to see if she can figure out a
The
way.
full payment and terminate.
Right, right. So we need to see how she can do that. So I'll send a letter to her to see, for her to look at the contract, and we need her to do it kind of like ASAP. All right, so I'll handle that just right then. I'll make sure that I contact her about that. Okay, yeah, fencing around the basketball court. We can, again, we can, I don't think we talked anymore about that, so we can definitely table that. I just keep bringing this up so we don't forget at some point.
Do we want to, I can take a more, I think initially when we were talking, we were gonna try to bundle it with the playground.
Okay.
project, But I do think
Mhm.
there's not really any cost savings that I saw on having them do both.
Okay.
That was the intent, was to say, okay, you're gonna come do the playground.
You can save
throw
us
in
money,
fence cords.
right? They
But that's
didn't,
not the vibe I got.
No.
I think fencing for most of them was separate.
okay,
Separate.
there is a, okay, saying, okay. So I remember we got a quote from a company like last year when me and Ty was on initially. I gotta try to find that. Because they had given us, I think it was almost like $20,000 to put a fence all around there.
What the high fence is.
Yes,
like,
mhm.
Around the basketball. And
Yeah.
the short fence around.
Kind of like what we have at our tennis court over here. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, the same kind of thing. The chain link, it was gonna be the chain black
The
with the
black
powder,
rubber.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
the
follow
coating.
up on that, and I'm gonna see if I can have them do both, the fencing, basketball, and the dog run.
Okay, okay,
They're right next to each other.
okay, okay.
Because I know we wanna get the dog run too, because that fence is broken.
Okay, do we want that one or is that other one better? Is that cheaper? You know, those, the wrought iron ones? The wrought iron? No, they look nicer. The rod, the kind of look like the, around here, around the pool, kind of like those that go around for the dog run.
That's gonna be more expensive.
Oh, you ain't paying no attention? Y'all been to the pool? Y'all ain't paying no attention? Because if you look at some of those dog runs at the apartment complex,
Oh.
they have that.
It's talking about the pipe.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see what it costs, you know, financially, how it, you know, would
So
be.
I'll work on this dog run. and-
Okay.
But initially, I think we're gonna try to bundle that, but that's
Yeah.
kind of been separate now,
Mhm.
so dog run and basketball.
And I'll see if I can find that quote from that guy. I'll try to find it, but
Or if you just have the company name, I can follow up with them.
I gotta see if I can find that email. Yeah, it might be. It might be in the old. Do you still have access? Okay, okay. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I'll see.
I think all of them are done.
Cause I think he sent the right, we had one before that. So I gotta look and see if he sent an email to me or whatever. So I'll look and see. We got a little bit of time for that, but we can start looking early. Okay, moving on. Okay, community information update, a board update. Remember, I know last meeting we discussed about that board. You know that plexiglass is fixed, right?
The one I-
The one that we were talking about, we needed to fix. Yeah, that's already fixed.
What
But
about all the signage though, that
Yeah.
everybody's working on,
who, what's signage?
the community signage, did you work on an initiative to get this all?
Oh, you're talking about the signs in the ground, the stop signs?
Like those signs, and then also the community boards, she was looking at, just looking forward.
Who was looking at that?
Debbie,
Oh, no, forget that though.
I'm saying-
Yeah, no, I don't,
I don't know, was that transferred to the page? Or did she
No.
really know about it?
no, I don't think she even knows about it. I don't think she knows about it. So Paige, we had planned to get new signage throughout the community, like the stop signs and all that stuff that was leaning, and a new sign for the, like, we have meetings and stuff. Now, the board that we have out there, nobody really updates it like that. You know, no one's really doing anything. So I think what we have here, we have the little signs we used to put out before, and it has like days of the week on there, and it has a time. So what we should do is we put one up here, we put one down there, and if we put it out maybe 2 days ahead of time, we'll put it out there and said, okay, Wednesday, the board meeting, we put it out on Monday. So when people drive through, they would see it.
Okay.
And then we would just take it out once it was done.
We already have the signs?
Yeah, we need some more, we're missing days. So, yeah, something like that. So we can go, we're probably gonna need a new one, because I think we only have one. So we can look for that signage company. I forgot, it may have something on there, I don't know, but we can look and see, and we can get a new one made. And we can just start using it. I think that we better utilized than using that board, because again, when you come in, you can actually see it. As opposed to that board, you would have to stop, get out and look at it, which is really difficult for most people to, I mean, they're not gonna do that. So we'll look into that. I can do that. You want me to do that? To look in the, for those? Okay, just write me down for, looking into getting the signage for the board meetings. And then do you want me to, because I know we had spoke to a gentleman before, yeah, about the stop signs.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on this to move forward, we need to figure out.
With the stop sign?
Yeah, cause it's the stop sign, you know, it's closed,
Everything.
parking zone, like,
We-
I have a tally of all that stuff.
You had-
Yeah, remember,
Oh.
it was heading it, so I backed up.
Oh, okay,
So now we're here.
right. So since you were heading, do you want to finish it?
I mean, I can finish.
Okay, so you can finish it. I'll work, do you want me to work on the signage for the community, like for the board
I mean,
meeting?
I can check the website, cause the same place we were gonna get the parking
Mhm.
passes from,
Mhm.
they do all that stuff, it's just like 4 different companies.
Okay, because I know we got that from, I think that sign place off of Route 1.
Mhm.
They had done it, so we can look at them and see if they do it. It's the signage
Are you
place.
talking about fast signs?
Yes, fast sign, and then there's another sign place. I can't think of it.
Heartland signs as well.
So we can look into all of those and see what so you have some information on these places. If you can give us some information on those places as well. Ty can probably work on giving you the list of what we need done and see what, whoever comes up with the best price back to us. That would be perfect.
Some of the poles need to be
Yeah,
replaced.
poles need to be replaced and with concrete as opposed to just dirt.
And you just have all of the signs evaluated, just someone to come out and look at all the signs and tell you what you need? Or are there
You
specific
already
signs
done
that you
that,
want?
right? Ty has already done that, so we already
Sorry,
know.
done that? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we already
Oh.
know we
So we said.
did dimension, like how tall for,
Signs, stop signs,
Mhm.
signs, okay.
right, and I think it's like 12 feet, I think, or the 8 feet is too, yeah, we got 8 feet last time, and it takes about, what, a foot and a half or 2 to put into the ground, so we lost some feet, so we want the highest one, that they will put out in the streets, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll look into that, so, yeah, I think the 12 feet, if they have it,
Are you wanting wooden or vinyl signs?
which they would,
Wooden or vinyl posts?
which,
Vinyl? Okay.
oh, vinyl, oh, we had metal, we had the metal, is that the vinyl? I mean, we had metal, like at the.
You want metal posts?
Yeah, we have real sturdy metal posts. It was green. I think ours was green. It was like a really strong metal. We got the real strong metal ones. Huh? Vinyl? Oh, I don't know. Vinyl? Okay. Whichever one. I don't know. I thought it was metal. I mean, I don't know. I could have sworn it was metal. Those are metal posts. Those posts are strong. Yeah, I don't think they're vinyl. They're like still, they're strong.
Yeah.
I think we need those because, people tend to hit them sometimes. And we don't want to bend it all up. Even if they knock it out the ground, we can put it back. So I think we definitely need to go with the metal. So we can look into that. So Ty, you're gonna look into that. Okay, so Ty's gonna look into that for us. Okay, the declaration amendment revision by the attorney. Everybody seen that revision that she sent?
The only comment I had, because I said it in an email too, is I didn't like the wording where it says, trash can will be disposed.
Right, and if you look at what disposal mean, and technically, when they take the contract, they give that to you, the garbage cans, those are ours. So now when we're telling them to remove it, all they do is take it, they just take it back. And they'll give it to someone else, or they'll just take it back to their
It was
wherever.
just the wording, and I think you had suggested something else.
I don't think the word disposing or getting, I mean,
It said, something about them collecting it or would be. But a dispose sounds like we're like getting them from the property, which is the case, we're having them come pick it up.
I don't think disposal means that we're throwing it out. I mean, we're getting rid of it. We're moving it from the common area.
Is
That's
there
what we're
issue
doing.
with-
I just think it's gonna take more time. I just think, it's like.
Well,
potatoes and
Marguerite,
potatoes.
Marguerite answered to that. I'm not sure if you saw her email, but she had mentioned that the verbiage is straight from the declaration, and if we were to change the verbiage, it would have to also be changed in the declaration. And she said, so let me know if you want that to be updated as well, if you want the verbiage changed.
Well, the wording, but the wording that we're talking about isn't from the declaration, that's the updated one. So that, we're talking about the proposed update has the word disposed.
It's in the declaration. It's in the declaration. Disposal is in the declaration.
Christine, Uber.
Hello? Disposal is in the declaration.
It says we'll dispose of their trash can.
Disposal is in the declaration. Garbage disposal is in the declaration.
That's the revised. The garbage disposal, it says, the other documents hereby amended to read as follows. The disposal up top is fine, I'm talking about where it says any trash can not clearly marked with the identifier adopted by the board of directors shall be disposed by the association at owner's sole expense, including owner of disposed trash can. And so I had made the suggestion and said, to say dispose of their trash can is, Tyler had mentioned maybe like having saying something about it being picked up. It was just that one small change and I was okay with everything else. And so it shouldn't take any more time because that was part of the amended version.
I don't see the issue with it. Because you think in the community think that, so what's the issue with the word disposed?
I think it implies that we're getting rid of the trash can.
I don't think it implies.
So what does disposed mean then?
We are getting rid of it. What we're moving it from the common area. Either way, we're moving it from the common area.
Is there, you guys,
How many times, so technically when it's in, gone.
Right.
dispose to me means throw away. That's by definition, dispose means to get rid of, to throw away, to dispose of. Whereas if we're collecting it or having it retrieved or having it, the garbage company come pick it up, we should just say that.
So we want to change to.
Yeah, I mean, just something that simple.
It's disposed. I mean, I don't see, we're still getting rid of it. It doesn't matter if the trash can, the company is coming to get it. We're removing it from the common area. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Okay, fine. That, yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do that because Lord Jesus. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Can we just add that on there? Do we all agree on that one? Yeah, it'll cover both things. It'll cover both things, disposal and or removal from common, whatever it says. It'll cover both things. That's fine. I mean, because throwing away or getting rid of, same thing. But we're gonna have both of them in there. So can we add it? We can just tell her to just add that word, those words in there.
Yeah, that's part
Yeah.
of the revised version that
Okay.
Marguerite wrote.
Right, this is a draft.
We were just tweaking
Okay.
the verbiage that she wrote.
That's fine.
It wasn't to anything existing. It's
Okay.
her version. And so
So-
she asked for feedback and that was my feedback.
Okay, so did everybody agree with that? I'm okay with it.
I'm
very
okay with it.
flexible. I'm flexible. Yeah, so what is it gonna say now? What is it gonna say now? Exactly, what is it?
Disposed of and
Okay, so we document that, so I can send an email to her to say, can you just add that? Because this is only a draft anyway, so she's gonna send us the. So do we find any other issue with that, other than that? No, because you said you didn't see any other issue with that.
No, because we all voted for on email.
Right.
I had made a comment in the email with the same thing.
Right.
about that.
Okay, so, but I mean, we all voting on it now that we okay with
Yep.
it.
I am good as written.
Okay, so we can, okay, so that'll be fine. She could just add that wording and then send it back to us. That's that.
The other one was for
So-
charging.
Okay.
Do we vote on it pending the update as discussed?
Yes, let's do that. So
Okay.
we're not wondering who said and how it happened. So I will
Yeah.
motion that we amend and add those additional words.
He's
to-
saying a motion to approve it with the new, with the.
Yeah, but we're gonna approve it with the new word.
Yes.
Yes, that we're, a motion that we approve, with the additional verbiage.
I second.
So all in favor?
I vote yes.
Okay. Okay. So, you got that? I'll let you take your time. I ain't rushing you. Okay, yeah, I know, it's a lot. I know, trust me, I should do it. I know, it's a lot. So take your time. When you tell me you ready, we moving forward. So I don't want us later on to be like, we forgot, we didn't know. We want everybody to have their time. I don't know, was that one, that's the one there? Oh, I know. She was supposed to, she has to put that in our documents, because we have nothing to speak to solar panels.
Did you want to speak to the other amendment for the charges?
Yes, no, we will. I was just telling her, she was like, solar
Okay.
panels. I was just telling her what it was.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, okay, so the other amendment, for the charges, which we all agree that we think would be best, that if in the event that we can charge homeowners, assess homeowners when they are in violation, as opposed to doing what we have to do right now, because it doesn't speak to our documents currently, and it's costing us a lot of money. So I think in the long run, it'll be quicker, and it may save us attorney fees. So we agreed that we need to have that added in there. So did everybody get a chance to look at it? Because I'm okay with it. I looked at it. I'm okay with what she wrote. Because all she's doing is looking at other HOAs and their updated documents, and she's just copying and pasting and going, hey, here you go. Yeah, that's what it is. That's all it is. So we're not reinventing the wheel. So I looked at it. I think it's fine, because obviously she's looked at it and it is also acceptable in other HOAs, newer HOAs, and by law, they can do it. So we're just trying to make sure our documents speak to it, since our documents are so old. We're trying to update.
Does this automatically add to the dues? Like, is it assessed to them?
It's an assessment. It's considered an assessment, after they have a hearing and all that other stuff. Yeah. Yeah, then that would be on their dues. Yeah.
And they agree that we're going to, these have to go out.
Oh, no, we do it like we do everything else. You know, hey, hey,
No, I mean,
what?
these have to still go out to be voted on, right? So.
No, yes, this has to be voted on through the community.
So they agree that they're gonna keep it separate, so that if one doesn't pass. or
Yeah,
we're just
exactly.
voting on the verbiage.
Right,
Okay.
right. So when we do put it out, and I'm thinking maybe we can put it out when we give out parking passes, so people can sign, that would be, because we know everybody's gonna come get a parking pass. So, yeah, that's how we did it last time, so we can get everybody to sign then and there. And maybe one will pass, maybe one won't, but they'll give us their signature, and we just need the 75%. So
We as a board are just voting on the verbiage of it, and then they have to vote on the actual passage.
exactly, we're just voting that what we're gonna give everybody, it's okay, the verbiage is fine. The attorney already did everything, so I'm okay with it. I've seen it. So I don't mind. I'll make a motion to accept it, and then once we motion to accept these, then at our meeting when we give out the passes, we can do this. And if we want, we can give people like a sneak peek to say, hey, this was approved. You can get a chance to look at it. So when you pick up your passes, if you agree, you can sign. You give people time to look at it. So. All right, okay. What else? Okay, yeah,
That's
that's,
the solar panels.
the solar panels.
Did you make a motion on that?
Oh, did I make a motion?
I think you started one.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm sorry, I want to make a motion to adopt that particular declaration for the amendment for charging. So I'm motioning that declaration, amended declaration.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, we're gonna give Ty a little minute here to catch up with what she gotta do. So let me see what else before we go into. We're gonna forget. Okay. It says property parking. That's all the panel. Okay, I think we already hit that part. Oh, you ready? Oh, okay, okay, okay. The next one is a solar panel resolution draft by the attorney. People are getting, they want solar panels. We have approved one house so far for the solar panel that they sent. Because we can't really deny them. We just have to have something in our documents to reflect, like, we don't want you to put it in the front of your house. You know, put it on, you know, it has to be a location and all that stuff. It has to be specific, but we can't deny them having it, but we can specify where it can be on your house.
It says that we can't make a restriction that increases the cost of installation by over 5%, nor can we reduce the energy production by the solar energy production price by 10%. Meaning that if they get more sunlight on the front of their house, we can't say they have to put it back.
No, we can't tell them, no, we can't tell them. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying they're gonna do this, but we just don't want nobody to say, we're gonna put solar panels right here in front of my window. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can put it on the front of your house, but it can't be like, it has to be a location on your roof, in the front on your roof or in the back, but it just can't be like, you know, I don't know what people may want to put you ever see those ones they got them like down on the ground? Yeah, like you can't put them down on the ground and stuff like that. So that's what that means.
The only other question, I read this earlier, the only other question I had is, how does this apply to people who already have solar panels?
Huh?
How does this apply to people who already have them? So they kind of grandfathered in?
Well, nobody's opposed to technically have them yet, but if they do, we could just look at it like, hey, if it's within, they can just send the architectural thing and we can review. I mean, at that point.
Okay, I know my neighbor across the street had them, I don't know if that was part of it.
They didn't, I don't know if they was approved, but
I don't know either.
I know we only approved
They got
one.
put in last year.
Last year, so yeah, all we're gonna ask now, we're gonna probably send them something, say, hey, give us a request and we just approve it if it's on the roof. According to our documents here. See, that's the problem when people are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I know that they didn't have a board that was active, and I understand that, but now we're having these issues.
And we didn't have a solar panel
Right,
in there. So
right, and exactly.
So,
I understand, so, but,
yeah.
you know.
Okay, I'm cool with it.
Okay. So I'm okay with the solar panels. So I'll motion to adopt this solar panel installation. All in favor? I mean, second, I mean, oh, I'm sorry, second.
Sorry, real quick.
So-
Are we able to ask her to include something in there about existing solar panels? Because it doesn't speak to it at all.
No, it doesn't, because it really matter to say existing, because if it exists, we're just gonna address it, because we're talking about stuff in the future, like right now and in the future. So what has happened in the past, we're gonna correct what we're talking about, like right now. So I don't think we need to talk about, you know, have a good day, have a good night, all right.
I think this existing still subject to review by the board.
But just say 10 years from now and just, I don't know, I just
asking them to do it either, because, I mean, you look at home, right? It's already built.
right,
We're gonna go in and inspect it because.
Right.
Now we have something to look like.
right,
My grandfather.
Right. Yeah, we just need them to have something on file to say, yes, they did, and we agree to it.
Now,
Yeah.
the house was built,
Right,
and then you can put it back.
Right.
And we have a house was built.
exactly, right. So like I said, I motion. I motion for the current one that we have. You second, Ty second. I'm all in favor. Okay, cool. All right, so.
Right, new business, termination of landscaping contract.
Right, discussion, termination, we kind of hit that earlier.
Yep.
Hey, you have in the board packet, you have the cleaning contract in there, but it's not in your.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. What did she say?
She's gonna tell you now. She's gonna talk from her phone.
I
Oh,
was just
okay.
saying, I saw in the board packet you had the cleaning contract, but we don't have it on the agenda. Is this the time to talk about it, or is that part of the new business?
So I did update the agenda. It should be on here. I updated the agenda after you asked for the cleaning contract on here. So it's under new business.
Oh,
Did you see the updated board packet?
probably looking at the old one. I'm looking at the printed copies in the clubhouse, so.
Oh, yeah, that's
Probably-
the old one. She had updated.
Okay.
She had updated.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, let me get to. Ooh,
Where we at? Where we at?
Let me see.
Oh, oh, my
Can,
bad.
can we tee that up for our next board meeting in the interest of time?
What you say?
Can we tee that up for our next board meeting in the interest of time?
Yeah, what
The
are we
clubhouse?
talking about? I guess, what are we talking about for this, the cleaning?
Cleaning.
Oh, the cleaning contract, so now that so she had a agreement that she was coming once a week to clean the bathrooms because the pool was open.
Uh-huh,
So I just wanted to talk to you guys about what we want the cleaning cycle to look like now.
change. I think it should only be after,
Once a month.
no, only when somebody rent it, because nobody's using it.
Well, I think we should still, we don't have the water sitting in there.
What water, sitting in the toilet?
And
What is it gonna do? What's it gonna do?
I know
If she comes to clean it,
my basement bathroom, if I don't go down and clean it, if
Right.
nobody uses it, it starts to smell because the water's sitting there.
so my.
The hard water smell.
I've never had a smell. That's the whole point, is that she come and clean it, she'll come clean it before the pool, before the people rent it. So we get it cleaned before rentals.
So do we want to say before rental? We tell them usually, so I've been telling her after rentals. So do we want to before and after, or how are we doing that?
Well, we have to look,
Bathrooms before and then cleaning after, clean the entire thing after?
yeah, if it's needed. If it's not needed, I don't want her to do anything if it's not needed.
I mean, I'm open to discussion. I just know she's on a cycle, so now that the
Right.
closed, I don't know what that looks like.
Mhm. Clean the toilet. Right. Okay, so,
And then, yeah, I do owe that. I will say that for the cleaning contract, so Stephanie wanted me to put together a list, like a checklist of everything she should do.
mhm,
Like, as far as make sure, because like she said, like, she was cleaning, but she wasn't getting at the top of it.
Right. we want a full clean,
Yeah,
right?
so
If you're gonna do a
checklist
full clean,
for cleaning, and then you're saying once a month. Only if there's not an event where she could be cleaning. Right?
mhm. Normally people are gonna clean up after, they like do the basic stuff. But if she has to do a thorough cleaning, yeah, we have to pay for
But we were
that.
having her come in, the current agreement is that she comes in after events and she cleans, so like if people.
Right.
They have to take their stuff. but
Right.
There's no food left behind.
Right, all that
And
stuff.
so if we have her do that after an event,
Mhm.
and there's like more than 30 days to the next event, we
Mhm.
want her to come in again.
I think the people who rent it, they shouldn't leave any food. When we talking cleaning,
Crumbs and-
yeah,
That's why she's coming in.
right,
It's
so
like-
she's just dusting, just the basic
she's
cleanup,
cleaning, yeah.
right, a basic. It
so-
shouldn't be a full thorough cleaning at that point, it should just be dusting,
Well, her proposal
brush,
is,
sweeping, mopping, that's it.
so she does, the weekly cleaning the bathrooms was 65,
Mhm.
and then cleaning the clubhouse after the event was 50, and then if we wanted her to do a deep clean, at any time, it's 125. But we've been having her just do the 50 and 65, like just sort of full
Mhm.
rotation
Mhm.
clean. And so I think we can keep those.
I think
But
we
if we
need,
want a deep clean every 3 months or
yeah, maybe every 3 months, I don't think we need a deep clean with it dusting.
like once a quarter.
Yeah, cause we're not, you know what I mean? Huh? Yeah, every 3 months a deep clean. Right, right.
So once a quarter, we're gonna do deep clean,
Mhm.
and then we want her to do basic clean still after each event,
Right.
and then the bathrooms.
Just as needed, if it's, because we may be having it rented often, but as needed. So when
She
she
doesn't come here unless we ask her to come clean, so that's.
Right.
She gotta come and inspect and say.
okay, so we can look at it like, do she need to come and clean the bathroom I mean, we don't wanna come here and she clean and she don't need to.
So
So we can look at it.
Once a quarter deep clean,
Mhm.
basic clean after events,
Mhm.
and then other as needed.
Right, and we could tell her, right, and we'll call her and let her know, like, hey, that bathroom is a mess before the party, so we need her to come and clean it.
Okay, I'll follow up with her. I told her
Okay.
to stop after the pool season.
Yes,
Because I didn't want
yes.
to keep incurring those costs. And I did want to talk to Paige, is that I'd asked Deborah and Debbie, because Deborah's the name of that cleaner.
Oh, right.
That we should be copied on all invoices that, and we haven't been.
Okay,
And so any invoices, because we want to verify that we're getting the services. that
Right.
we're paying for.
Right.
And so Paige, can you ensure that we as a board are on any invoice submissions for this company?
Yes.
okay,
Yep,
cool.
I will add that.
Perfect.
Because we've been.
So we don't know when and how and, okay, so
Right,
that's
and
important,
every time I will text her, I remind her, hey, you need to
Yeah.
copy us, so I know that it's done.
definitely.
Because otherwise, when she's just submitting invoices, she's just getting paid.
Yeah, we don't know when you came and how it was, yeah, so yeah, I agree, for sure. We definitely needed that. So we'll give Ty a second here. Let her do what she needs to do.
Yep, I won't pay the invoice unless you guys approve it.
Yes, that would be good. That would be perfect. Yeah. You just send us a reminder to say, hey, you have an invoice, blah, blah, blah. Do y'all agree
I feel
to
the same way
pay?
about by faith, but.
Oh, yeah, but see, it's on their contract that they get paid automatically. That's the
I
thing.
know.
If it wasn't, we should be. And I think that we got to talk about that too, even with the next contractors.
I agree with that, is that there should be an approval process.
Yes, that's how we should do in my other community. We approved it. We didn't pay automatically because if they didn't do it,
It won't be automatic, I think, the things that services.
it's
that
HOA,
we're-
it's management,
Right,
right?
everything else, well, and like things like.
In what? Oh, yeah, you gotta pay that. No, we ain't gonna.
Yeah,
be
like utilities,
Yeah,
but landscaping.
Don't pay Verizon, don't pay who on the bill, don't pay
Okay.
So the next thing of business is, I think we said that.
That's it. Next is executive session.
No, I forgot, I don't think it's on here, is, what is it? The cleaning of the community and those baskets for the doggy stations. The dog, yeah, that's on, I forgot to put that on it, it's not on it. Well, it was, I had put it on this one, but I don't think it got added. Right, yeah, because I added on my agenda, but I added it with something else, so maybe I didn't see it. Because I added on obtaining contracts for new landscaper and snow removal, obtaining a company to clean the common area. I had it all on the same thing. So I think Lottie Dottie, Slicker is in the house. I meant to say Lottie, whatever the doggy station thing, I think they were pretty good. But I
And
don't.
that's what they do, also, that was the other thing, that different from the other company that, will be the first company,
Mhm.
was that they didn't necessarily specialize in that. but
Right.
what these guys, they said that they would, I don't think we have that many left, because I've been refilling them since I see.
Okay.
They said they would buy out whatever bags we had left, and then part of their.
Can we buy them, or were they cheaper for us to buy them and just give it to them?
Yeah, they said that they could buy them. and so
Okay,
we don't
for the
have to-
price? Okay.
Because then otherwise we have to make sure they have them every time. we use them.
Okay.
And so like, they're in here.
Yeah, okay, it's included in the price, so that's fine.
Yeah, and so they
Yeah.
said if we have a bunch, they'll buy them from us.
Okay.
And just give us a credit, but we don't have that many left, because
Oh, we don't?
Filling them.
Okay.
As I see them, I just
Okay.
contract some.
Okay.
Do it, so.
So in order to save the community a little bit of money, I said, the baskets, we can order the basket. I think I looked on that book that I gave you, they're like $189 for the green one with the metal ones, not the plastic ones. The metal ones with the caps on top of them. How many do we have? How many dog stations do we have? Do we have
So
like?
I have different email, but I had a list, so we wanted two new full stations.
Okay,
And then we wanted to add
where would we put in those 2 new full stations?
I think, this is my opinion.
Okay, 'cause I'm about to say, I don't know
was,
about saying.
Woodbridge, because we don't have enough, there's two.
Only one? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a sign there.
Okay.
There's no trash
Oh.
thing, there's no bags.
Oh, okay.
It just says pick up your food.
Oh, okay,
And so I was thinking we would do one there.
Okay.
And then we could do one further up, a little bit higher on Woodbridge. And
Okay.
then there's 3 places where we have bag dispensers that we can add just the waste basket to, and those are on Amazon for like $100.
I think we can get them for all the stations. I think we should have them for all the stations
Well, but the other stations have those big community trash cans next
in
to
front
them.
of it.
Like that one right there, it doesn't
What's
have a waste bin, but it has the big orange community bin next to it.
Are they using it? Are they using it for that? Are they actually using it?
No, I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me if it's literally like, this is the waste basket, the pole's right next to it, it doesn't make sense. to
Oh,
put
it's
a waste
right
bin.
next to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally like.
Okay, so if it's
next to it.
right next, okay,
Because
fine.
if this one here is like that, and
Okay.
then the one at the top of King's
It's
Crest
like that,
is like,
okay.
It has it like literally right next. to
So
it.
which ones don't have a trash can next to them? How many do we
The
have?
one right here that I just put in on this little cut through street. that we have on-
That's on Creekview, Creekview.
And
Mhm.
then the one on King's Crest doesn't have one, and then there's one on Woodbridge that doesn't have.
So it's like 3 or 4 or
So
something.
3 waste bins and I think 2 full stations. is what we
Okay.
need.
So,
So
okay,
3 of like the cylinder ones would be just attached to existing poles. and
Okay.
then 2 full new waste stations.
okay, so we need,
Yeah, there is one, but there's a big trash bin there.
okay, so we need that thing that you have, we can look at that, because they have the whole station. They got the whole station. We
Yeah,
can
we need
order
2 of
2,
those,
right?
And
We-
then.
How much was the one that we just got? The,
that was like 2 something.
okay, so if we did 2 something, and then the baskets itself are like 180 something, I think.
But you
The-
can buy them with the baskets on there. And
Yeah,
then
you
it's
could.
25.
Oh, okay, then we
Cause I
can,
bought one for my backyard.
okay, then we can do that. Just make sure when they put it in, that they put it in maybe some concrete, because I see that one kind of leaning now.
Which one? Creekview?
So maybe we can put some concrete, so it's a little sturdy.
Well, they didn't put them in for us. They said
Oh.
that, so Lottie's and the trigger.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Let them
We just
get
have to buy them.
Okay, that's fine. We can do that. I think we can save money as in we order the baskets and we can put the baskets in. I mean, it's just a screw. It's really not hard to do for those, but the one with the whole station, let them put those in.
Okay.
Yeah, let them put those in. And we can put the other 3, I think it's 3. Yeah, we can put the 3 in. We just
Isn't
order
the-
them.
The cheapest I think I saw, because I started pricing them, was like 110 or something.
Really?
115 for just
The
cylinder
basket.
baskets.
Okay, and it was metal?
They're metal,
Okay,
and they were green.
yeah. Okay, we can get it wherever we get it cheaper. We
There
can-
was ones that were a lot cheaper, but they were pink. I was like,
No. Yeah, green, we're gonna keep it uniform. So-
there was a reason they were cheaper.
Yeah, nobody don't want that.
Okay, so
So-
what's the threshold for how many quotes you need?
Well, it depends on if it's less than $1,500.
Okay, yes, I'll send a proposal, or a proposal, but a motion with just the waste bins.
Okay.
And a separate one for the waste station.
Okay,
And then
okay,
we can-
we're gonna decide and we'll put those in, and then we'll have them put them stations in.
Okay,
But-
so do you have a vote for?
Yeah. But first, we're gonna motion to have Lottie's dog poop station, whatever they call. Cause I looked at the other 2 and they just don't, no, they weren't going to compare. Because what is it? Pull that up again. Can you pull that up, Paige? No, we don't have it on here today, right?
She had it in email. She sent
Yeah,
it
we could pull up on email.
Correct. I can send it again in email. I'm so sorry. I thought
No,
for
no,
some
that's
reason
okay.
you guys
No, that's
talked about
okay.
it at the
That's
last
okay.
meeting.
That's okay.
Okay.
We can pull it up. We can pull it up. I forgot it's not in this package, so I'm like, oh, just scroll, but it's not in this package. So, because there was something on there. Let me see. All right,
85 for service.
okay. So what I want to do is, can we just make a decision later, because we do need to move forward? It's almost 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, so we've already looked at it, so we can vote on, okay, which one we want, which company, within the next week. Okay, within a week,
Okay.
okay,
So we're gonna defer?
yeah,
Okay.
for a week, yeah, we'll make a decision in a week, after
Okay.
we looked
2
at
weeks-
everything.
in 2 weeks landscaping, 1 week is gonna be,
The decision for the,
and I'll take lead on that,
okay, cool,
the trash pickup.
all right. So, okay, we got that, so I think that's it,
Executive session.
Yeah, we're going to executive session now. Okay, you good? Ty, you good? Okay, so I would like to make a motion that we come out of the regular meeting and go into executive session at, what time is it? 8:54? Yeah, then we'll let everybody else out.
Did anyone second? Who seconded?
Did you second?
Frederick, Frederick.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Second as well. Yeah. So she'll let everyone else out, into the waiting room.